Hello, soulmates. Welcome back to my channel. This is Soul with Pivot. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Give this video a thumbs up. Share it to your friends, relatives, and other soulmates. Thank you. So today we're going to be learning how to make this beautiful top and skirt. We're going to be using a measurement of a girl of 8 to 9 years old. So to make this, I use half yard of flowered crepe and half yard of plain crepe. Now to the cutting of the top. I folded my fabric into 4 folds, so we are cutting the back and the front at the same time. Now from the picture you can discover that this is a kind of off shoulder kind of cut, so I'll be minusing 3. Her actual top length is 12.5 inches. Then I'm going to be adding 1 inch for hemming allowance. Then I added extra 3 inches so that it will just be kind of free, like we don't want it jumping. Now to our shoulder measurement. Her shoulder measurement is 12 inches, divided by 2 is 6 inches, so I went ahead to minus 1. So what I marked out here is 5 inches. Her armhole measurement, I used 5 inches. Her chest measurement is 30 inches, divided by 4 is 7.5 inches. So I went ahead to add 1.5 inches, giving us 9 inches. So we're going to mark the same 9 inches on the waistline. So you just connect and then you cut. Now this is what we have. Basically we have our front bodies and our back bodies. So the next thing I'll go ahead and do is to fold that neckline. I folded it in by 1/2 inch and then I sewed it. Then you also fold this bottom part by 1/2 inch and sew. So I went ahead and did it, and this is the outcome. I've sewn both for the back and the front. Now I'll bring one of the bodies and then I'll mark out 1 inch. From that neckline position, I came down by 1 inch. I connected it. Then I'll come to the hem. I'll do the same thing. I'll go up by 1 inch and then I will connect it. So I'll do so for both the front and the back bodies. So I've done so. The next thing we're going to do is to cut our elastic. So we're going to be using elastic to gather that neckline. Now the elastic I'll be using for the neckline is 7 inches. And we have 2 of these. So I'll place it from one end to the other end and then I will sew on it. So we're sewing on that 1 inch line and this is what we have. So the next thing we're going to be doing is to work on the waistline, that's that hemline, and the elastic we are using is 11 inches and we have 2 of these. So we'll place it from one end to the other end and we sew on it. So we're going to do it for both the back and the front bodies, and then this is what we have. You can see how stretchy that part is. So we've done so for the 2. So the next thing we're going to do now is to finish up the armhole. To do this, I cut a long strip of fabric which measures 22 inches in length, while it measures 2 inches in width. And as you all know, we have 4 armholes, 2 for the front, 2 for the back. So I got 4 pieces of this, the same length and the same width. So we have 4 of this. Okay, so I'm going to get one of them like this. Then I'll place it at the back of my fabric. You can see it. I'll place it like this and then I will sew. And this is what we have after sewing it. This is what we have. You can see it. The next thing I'll do is to fold it in and then fold again and then we sew. You can see what I just did. You just do it like that and then we sew. up to the end. But coming to this edge, I decided to fold it in then before folding, you understand, so that we can just have a clean finishing at that point. Okay, now this is the second strap. You can see I already finished it, like I already turned it, and this is what it looks like. You can see the edge, you can see the finishing at that armhole. So you do so for the 4 armholes. So I've basically done that, and then this is our front bodies, and I'm going to bring the second bodies, our back bodies. So we're going to place it on each other, and then we join the sides. So we're going to be sewing on 1 inch allowance. So this is what we have. I'm trying to turn it over. Please, if you're enjoying this tutorial up to this point, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, share it to your friends, family and other soulmates. Okay, thank you. So you can see me trying to tie up the sleeve, so you can just tie it as you want. You can see the waist. So now let's head over to the skirt cutting. Now for this skirt, I folded my fabric into 4. Now what I used in folding my fabric is what my hips allowance, then plus the necessary allowance. That is what I used in folding it. However, the front part of this skirt is 2.5 inches more than the back part, because it's going to be having a flap like button and buttonholes. So that's why it's 2.5 inches more than. My skirt length is 16 inches, so I'll add 1 inch for folding the band above and then 1 inch for folding the hem. So that means what we have is 18 inches. Then I'm trying to mark out my 1 inch for the band. It's a cut together band. We are not sewing a separate band. So I'm marking out my 1 inch for the band. And this is what we have. We already marked it out. Now from that point, I'll mark my waist to hips line, and like I told you, this for an 8 to 9-year-old. So her waist to hips line is 5.5 inches. So I marked it out. Now our waist measurement is 28 inches, divided by 4 is 7 inches. I added 2 inches allowance, making it 9 inches. So you can decide to add 1 or 1.5, is up to you. For her hips measurement is 32, divided by 4 is 8 inches, plus 2 inches allowance is 10 inches. Please, when you are measuring the hips, it shouldn't be tight, like it should be loose fitted, you understand, because of course it's a child. So I'll use the same 10-inch at the hem. So I'll just connect it. And then cut. So after cutting, I'm going to take out my front skirt block, and I'll be placing back the back skirt block. So we want to work on it, we want to work on the hem. So basically from that hem point, I'll be going up by 1.5 or 2 inches. So for an adult, you can go as high as 2.5. So but what I used there is 1.5. So I'll connect it back to that center, like almost to the center. You can try to get to the center, it's up to you. So you can see what I did. I just connected it slightly before the center. So you can see what I did. So let me measure out what I have there so that we can see. I think it should be about 2.5 inches or so. This like 2.5 inches before the center. That's where I connected my line from, like this. So you can go ahead and cut it out. So let me open it up, and this is what we have. So I'm going to keep this aside. Let's work on the front skirt block. Now this is the front. You can see it's still folded. This is the folded edge. So now from that folded edge, I'm going to be coming in by 3 inches, and I'll mark it straight down. So you can see me marking out 3 inches, another 3 inches. So definitely I'm just going to mark it straight down. Remember, this is from the center front. So now I'm going to open it up so that you see. So basically we want one side to be more than the other side, because like this is a kind of one-sided skirt. So let me turn it over so that we can work on the hemline. So this is what we have. You can see it. You can see that one side is more than the other parts. Now from the hemline of this other side, that's this other side that is smaller, let me say from our right, it's facing my right, I'll go up by 1.5 inches. So I'm going to take that 1.5 inches straight up to that line, up to this line. So you can see it, I've connected it. So this is 1.5 inches that we marked. Now to the other side, we're going to be marking out 1.5 inches also, but the difference now is that we're going to be connecting this one in a slanted form from here, from this point to this point. So we're just connecting it like slantly back to that middle line. You can see it. So after doing so, I'll then go ahead and cut. So this is what we have after cutting. Now remember that while we were cutting the front block, we had extra 2.5 inches. So now I'm going to mark out that 2.5 inches here. So that 2.5 inches basically is for our button and our buttonhole. So I'll mark it out 2.5 inches on this piece, and then I'll also go to the other piece and then mark out 2.5 inches. Now after marking out that 2.5 inches, I'll go ahead and fold. So we fold by 1/2 inch, and then we fold into 2 to meet that line. So I'll do so just like we do for our shirts. So we do so here, and then we also fold for this second side. We fold and then we sew. You can decide to use hemming allowance, but I think I'll prefer to sew, and that is what I have done here. So the next thing I'll be doing is to fold my waist by 1 inches and sew. We also fold the hem by 1 inches and sew. So I'll do so for the 2 pieces of the front, and then I'll also do the same thing to the back skirt block. So we fold our waist by 1/2 inch, another 1/2 inch, that's by 1 inch, and sew. We fold our hemline by 1 inch and we sew. And then this is the outcome of what we have. So we are done folding the waist and the hemline for both the back and the front. So this is me trying to arrange it. So this is it. Remember, for the flap it has to overlap. So I'm going to get this bigger piece and then I will overlap it like this. So this is it. So the next thing we're going to do is to measure out our allowance. Remember, I used 2 inches, so I marked out the 2 inches sewing allowance, and then I'll go ahead and sew. After sewing, this is what we have. So I'm going to turn it over so that you see what it looks like from the outside. So this is what we have. You can see it. You can see this overlapping side. So you go ahead and iron it so that it will relax and look better. So the next thing we're going to do is to create our buttonhole on this smaller part. Then here we fix our buttons. So in the meantime, I'll just place my button on it so that you see what it looks like while I'll go and create my buttonhole. So this is it, and this is the end result of what we have made. This skirt looks so beautiful, and I feel like it can pass for a corporate piece. Like, isn't this beautiful? So let me open it up so that you see what it looks like. You can see it. So this is it after opening it up, and then this is the top. So this is the back view of the top and the skirt, while this is the front view. Please, if you enjoyed this tutorial up to this point, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, turn on your notification bell. Okay, thank you so much for watching. See you next time.